Hello, side channel, off channel, whatever, whatever this is. I felt like checking in. I don't know why. Just was like, oh, there's a camera there. Why don't I turn it on? Um, in truth, I'm procrastinating, but I did say that I wanted to kind of start posting more candid stuff over here, so I figured I would check in. I've been a little lax on posting regular YouTube stuff. I want to kind of explain why to some extent, because there were some people who were concerned, and I did post up something that is letting people know that I'm still working, and also launched a podcast with Alex Bragdon, which I'm super excited about. So I was doing this whole rest of your life thing, and what I realized is that it was becoming, not that it was becoming, it was. I mean, the premise of it was very cynical. It was a way for me to kind of mock business and corporate life. And I was proud of some of the stuff that I did. I thought some of it was fairly clever. But the, what is it? They became what they beheld. It's very easy to get into that mindset. And sometimes it's cathartic to kind of vent that. But what I was discovering is that it was generally making me more crabby than I really ought to be. So I kind of took a break from that. And actually, I think it started because there was just a day when I was like, I got to sit down and write something. And I sat and I tried to write stuff, and nothing happened. And I was beating myself up over it. And I said, okay, you know what? Sometimes that isn't going to happen. And I came back the next day and it still wasn't happening. I said, okay, maybe there's something. Maybe there's something with the premise that just isn't hitting me right. And the idea of kind of going and doing that on a regular basis just wasn't what I wanted to do. So I have been writing other stuff. I have kind of probably a longer video that I've been scripting, and there's I'm less excited with it now than I was when I started, but I'm still okay with it. I'm trying to polish it up, trying to make sure that it remains interesting, and I'm working on that. Working on the KOS series. I've got a video that I recorded over the weekend, and it ended up being like an hour and a half of footage. So I'm going through and trying to trim that down and recording some narration and stuff on that. But the podcast I am super excited about, and I want to kind of explain why. So, YouTube is awesome, and I love YouTube, but one of the things that I think has been kind of missing, and I don't think this is necessarily a systemic YouTube thing, but maybe it is, but in my kind of subjective experience with YouTube, it's been less of a community type of thing, just because comments are not the best way to interact with people directly. And that's not to say that other social media things are, but there's a limitation to how much you can connect with people in an asynchronous medium like that. And what I realized is that Vlogalog kind of suffers from the same problem, but a podcast is awesome. Not so much for the people who listen to the podcast, but in particular, the fact that Alex and I just chat for a while. The thing that I've discovered and I'm really excited about is just that there are kind of two podcasts. It's like two projects. One is that there's an excuse to hop on a hangout and chat with a good friend of mine for a few hours. And then secondly, there's the whole, okay, let me go through and edit this and try and make this into something that's interesting, which is, probably equally fun. Not even equally fun. No, it's less fulfilling than chatting with a friend, but making this thing gives me a justification to say, let's actually kind of talk in real time with people, which is something that sometimes I can neglect. So I'm really enjoying that. We just we recorded episode 2. The thing, we put episode 1 up on, or episode 0, I don't know, up on Tuesday, and then submitted it to iTunes, and it got approved today. So if you haven't heard about it, It's up. Search for Code Monkey Podcast, and we're doing stuff on there. We're not necessarily talking about a lot of code type of stuff, but we're nerdy folks who do some code stuff, so we are going to talk about some of that. But yeah, it's fun, and there's a thing that I've been doing. I really like data. I like having statistics. I like being able to look at that sort of stuff and trying to see if there are particular trends. I've been tracking my weight on a Wi-Fi scale. I've been wearing a watch that tracks my sleep and stuff like that. And what I've discovered is that when I am around people, and in a synchronous fashion, I'm skipping ahead. There's another thing that I've been doing. There's a site called Ask Me Every Day, and they'll just email you, and they'll say, how are you doing? And you just reply with a number between 1 and 10. And it's easy enough. So I have it email me once a day, and I'll just send off a reply and then not really think about it. But I looked, and I discovered that the days when I actually talk to people for an extended period of time, I am much, much, much happier. Like, on average, I'm like at a 4 or 5. The days when I'm talking to people, I'm like at a 7, which is awesome. So I was like, maybe let's do that. Because it gets very easy when you've got a lot of projects and a lot of things on your mind. You just go, I'm going to buckle down and work. And it's easy to kind of think of spending time with people as slacking off, which is not a healthy attitude to have. It's probably better if I were able to disabuse myself of that attitude, but, for the time being, having at least the excuse of, well, we're making a podcast, so this is we've got to do this, makes it easier for me. But anyway, I just felt like turning on the camera and chatting. It's obviously I've still got plenty of YouTube stuff that I'm working on and looking forward to doing, and it's certainly not to diminish communication such as it is over the YouTube platform. And so with that, I'll ask you, how are you doing? I'm doing pretty well. I look forward to chatting with you guys in the comments, if you so choose. Otherwise, I hope that you have a great whatever day it is that you're seeing this. So have a good one. Bye.